I recently did a post asking a poll question, what would you like to see me do more content of? And the #1 response came back for easy, quick meals. I know that makes total sense. We're still coming off those holidays or the last 3 months of big meals, big recipes, big parties, big events, big cooking. And we just want things simpler now. We want to kind of take a break a little bit and just find some shortcuts and some easy meals. And that's where these recipes come up. These are ones I've made recently that I think you'll enjoy. Let's get into it. Let me share these easy recipes. And the one at the end is the one I do so much of that I am looking forward to showing you another variation of how I made this dish. But it's one of those things that uses up what I have, so I absolutely love it. I love the challenge of use up what I have, make it easy, make it simple, and try to do that when I can. All right, let's get started. The first easy recipe I want to share with you is one I've just made recently, and that is this scallop and shrimp with bow tie pasta and a lemon cream sauce. I'm using my stainless steel skillet because I wanted to get a nice crust on those scallops, and I start with a hot pan that I add 1 tablespoon of butter and I add a little bit of olive oil too. I get those melted, and now that my pan is sizzling, I add my 4 scallops. These scallops were frozen. I had them in the freezer for the longest time. I just let those defrost. I'm seasoning them with a little bit of salt and pepper. And I also had some frozen shrimp that I also let defrost. But these scallops, they were intimidating to me because I didn't want to mess them up. But I'm getting the perfect char on them. Look at that. The crust matches what they are in the bag. These are from Aldi, the jumbo sea scallops. I am so pleased. I add some citrus seafood seasoning to the shrimp only. I leave the scallops with just salt and pepper. And once they have that crisp crust on the outside on both sides, I take them out and finish with the shrimp that I have remaining. I'll put that in the skillet, and I'm going to add a little more seasoning. I'm adding some Italian seasoning to it. And once they're cooked, just a few minutes on each side, I'm ready to remove those from the pan and start my sauce. To the pan, I add more butter, and I'm adding the juice of 1.5 lemons. Now, I didn't use my juicer, so you see these little seeds are going into the pan, so I had to pick all those out, and that's why you use a juicer. And I will do that for my second lemon for sure. So I am just melting that all together, and now I'm scraping the bottom of the pan. That's all that flavor and getting all of that mixed up. And more lemon juice, this time with the juicer, more butter until I have a really nice sauce. And once everything is up, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. I'm just adding the minced garlic from the jar, about a teaspoon of that, and I'm also going to add the remaining lemon juice, so I'm getting a nice lemony sauce. My husband absolutely loves lemon, so he's going to love this. And now I'm going to combine everything, get it all heated through, and I'm ready to add my heavy whipping cream. I'm going to add it slowly, stirring it and combining it all and getting it warmed up, and I'm probably going to end up adding about a cup in total until I have this nice creamy rich sauce. Look at that. Doesn't that look so good? We're ready for our pasta. I already had this pasta cooked. This is bow tie pasta. It's been in the fridge for a little while. Didn't know how to use it until all these ideas came to me with the seafood and the sauce and all these ingredients. I had all of this on hand. So now I'm just getting that pasta heated through in the sauce, and I'm adding a little more Italian seasoning and stir that up to get all those flavors mixed well. And now I'm going to add just a little bit more heavy whipping cream because I want it just a little creamier. And I am ready to add my seafood back into the pan. But before we do that, I do have some Parmesan cheese that's shredded, had that left over, and that is going to be perfect in this. I'm going to get that in there and stir it until it's all melted. Now I'm going to add my seafood, my scallops and shrimp, back into the pan with the pasta and all the juices with it. And I'm going to stir all that until everything is covered in that wonderful sauce. And now this is done and ready for serving. I have to tell you, this is one of the best dinners I've made in a long time. The flavors were so good together, and I am so glad I finally used those scallops. Everything was delicious. This is a dinner winner. I would definitely make this if you can. This next easy meal I'm making is going to be a sheet pan meal. I love sheet pan meals because they are easy, and there's so many different recipes you can make as a sheet pan meal. Today I'm going to be making one with chicken legs. I'm starting with some hearty vegetables, sweet potato, it could be butternut squash, and a recommendation, if you do use a squash or a heartier vegetable, you can put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to a couple minutes just to soften it a bit to make it easier to slice and dice. And then I usually just use leftovers. I mean, you're usually prepping a vegetable here or there throughout the week. You probably have something left over, like these red onions. I usually have some sort of onion left over, and this sweet potato I did have to dice, but then I usually have some other kind of hearty vegetable, or I just have something else I want to use up. Mushrooms, green beans. You can see here I also have zucchini. I even had celery. I just wanted to use up what I have. That's what sheet meals are so great for. I'm going to season everything with this Kinder's roast chicken seasoning blend that I have. And this is where you can also be creative and use up what you have. Any seasoning is going to do. You could even just use salt and pepper if that's all you wanted. A little bit of oil as well to drizzle on top to get all those seasonings to stick. But another cheat here, I just stir everything in the pan. Sometimes I do not pour everything into a bowl and mix all those seasonings. I just do it just like I did with a spatula. Move everything around so everything is covered in the seasoning. I'm adding my mushrooms on top because mushrooms now, they will extract a little bit of moisture and some liquid, so they might steam your vegetables just a little bit, but I wanted to use those mushrooms, so I'm fine with that. For my protein this time, I'm using chicken legs, but they were on sale and I really wanted to use them. I've made this recipe before many times with chicken thighs, and they're really great because you get that seasoning under the skin, and this was going to work the same way. I have the skin, which I'm looking forward to crisping up. I cooked this in a 425-degree oven for 30 minutes. I checked the temp and realized it needs just a little bit more time for me to feel comfortable with the temperature. I cook them another 10 minutes, and here they come out of the oven, and they are cooked perfectly and smell amazing. Look at that crispy skin. It is so flavorful. That Kinder seasoning is perfect with all of this. It is so delicious. Hearty vegetables, crispy chicken, nice and juicy chicken. Everything turned out delicious. Let's keep going with sheet pan meals. I have another variation to show you. Different vegetables here. I am slicing up a green pepper, and I also have a red pepper. You can use any bell peppers that you have. I am also going to slice up some onion, and I have some seasoning that goes well with seafood. Once again, any seasoning you desire. Salt and pepper is fine as well. I'll use a little bit of oil to drizzle on everything, stir that all up on my sheet pan, and the same process. I did cook this a little less time because shrimp cooks fast. So this was 425 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. And look at that. They are so good. This is perfect in tortillas. And now you've got the makings of the shrimp fajitas. You can put them in tortillas with any of your favorite toppings, which I do, which includes sour cream, guacamole, cilantro, every little thing I can find in my fridge that is going to be a perfect topping for these. Another favorite easy meal that my family loves are these tuna nachos. We start with these wontons that we cut in half, and this is the hardest part, is just to air fry them. Save you a shortcut is to spray them with olive oil spray and add any Asian flavored seasoning you enjoy. You'll save time if you spray them versus brushing them with oil, so that's a shortcut there. And then also the timing of the air fry. It only is going to take 3 minutes because they heat up and brown very quickly, and keep an eye on them or they can burn. And then you'll go ahead and take them out. You can sprinkle them with a little more salt, but that's the base, that's your nachos. And then while these are cooking, you're going to be preparing your tuna steaks and marinating them. But first we'll cut our tuna steaks into pieces, and these can be found at Aldi, they can be found at Sam's, and these even came from Walmart. So you want to make sure fresh is best, but if you get them frozen, that's fine. But this is the wild caught ahi tuna steaks, and they are the high quality, and you do not have to cook them. If you're a little squeamish about raw tuna, you can go ahead and cook them a little bit in the air fryer for just a few minutes if you'd like, but we do not do that. We marinate them in a soy sauce, oil, sesame oil, and we put some sesame seeds, and we just let that marinate in the mixture. We've added this time some chopped up avocados, fresh avocados that we've added to it, and then we just dump all of that wonderful tuna with all that wonderful flavor, and we put it on top. I'll leave the ingredients below so you have exact measurements and exact ingredients that we used, but it's a very simple marinade, and the flavors of this with the tuna, the soy, the sesame, the avocados, and those chips, this is amazing. We of course have to drizzle it with sauce, and we use some sriracha Kewpie mayo that we've combined and made a sauce, and we have to do the perfect drizzle, of course, and then we put some chopped green onions on top. We absolutely love this. I've made this probably half a dozen times. Every time is better than the last. It's a family favorite, and if you like tuna, you'll love this. The next easy recipe I'm making is this magic salad. Now I know you're gonna say a salad, that's kind of boring, but hear me out. This is a magic salad because when you see the layers and when you see all the things that are in the salad, it just makes it more appealing. I have made so many variations of this. You can see a whole video I've done on all the different salads and desserts I've made in a trifle dish, and every single one of them are a hit with my family. So let's make another variation. This is a new one. I have not shown it in a video before. Had a big party, had a big event. All the leftovers are so good to put in this trifle dish and make a wonderful salad. Now, I usually start with a base of lettuce, and any can do. You can also do spinach, arugula, any kind of green leafy vegetable. That's my base. I start with that, and then I start layering all different colors and textures, and then usually I put a dressing and some cheese. That's really all there is to it, but I keep showing these because I'm telling you, every single time I make this, it is a hit. All right, I even had this pizza ranch salad left over, threw that in, and I'm saving the bits and pieces to put them on top as well. And next I'm gonna layer my rotisserie chicken. This is already cooked chicken that I just took off the bones, putting that all around as a nice layer. And then my next layers are black olives that I had left over from the party. I add a layer of fresh baby spinach and then sliced mushrooms. I like putting things that can stick to the side of the glass. It just looks better and it presents well. So I did the mushrooms to the side. I added some tomatoes. I had some leftover celery that I just chopped in little pieces, a little more baby spinach, and now I'm adding artichoke hearts that are out of the can, and I'm just breaking them apart, putting them in the middle as well as around the edge. Keep those layers building up, and now I'm going to be adding my cheese. For this, I'm using shredded cheddar cheese. You can use any cheese. This is where you can have creativity and use whatever you like. I make that as the top layer, and now I'm going to add my dressing. I'm adding just regular ranch out of the bottle, and I'm using it all up, but I'm also using the dressing from the Pizza Ranch kit. I'm just going to use up what I've got, put that in the top, add a little bit more ranch and some green onions on the top of that, and also those crunchies from the Pizza Ranch kit. I'm going to sprinkle those on top as well for a little crunch. And that's everything. That's my layered salad. That is another variation, and once again, my son cannot even wait. He doesn't even get a bowl. He just jumps right into it. He loves this salad no matter how I make it. I'm telling you, it's magic, and here's the proof. Within a day, we have eaten most of it, and by the end of the day, it is gone. It is that good, and that is why I call this a magic salad. Be sure to try it and let me know if it works for you too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some inspiration. I'll be doing more videos like this in the future, so be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you're notified when I make those videos. Thanks again. I'll see you on the next video.